I'm going to do something really different, something I've never done before. And this last boot camp will either be the biggest bomb I've ever had at boot camp or the most powerful. I'm rooting for the second, but I'm not quite sure. I'm also going to read. I'm going to read because, as my lawyer said, don't worry, Eileen and Steve, it has been run by the lawyers.
Okay.
That's where I am. I have, thanks to Lisa Fig, this is why I'm going to torture you. She has brought me a soapbox. Does everyone know what a soapbox means? You mean the old days when they needed a platform and they didn't have a stage, they'd turn over a soapbox and they'd preach. And I'm kind of giving you a little gospel now. All right? And it's kind of, to me, sums up everything. And for you millennials, I know it's long. I'm going to read something to you, and everyone says, oh, you can't do something long. But when you're tackling something really complicated, when you really want to make a difference in the world, you got to take time to break it all down if you're going to be meaningful. There's little things so I don't fall through on my soapbox. All right. Maybe the wrong heels for this today. Maybe the wrong heels. All right. So I'm going to talk about dark listings. Some of you have come to our Prospering in a Challenging Market, and I've touched on it, but I'm going to dig deep. I've actually submitted this to Inman. They want to publish it. I've written it as a speech, but I wanted to do it here first. I want you to hear it. I'm going to ask you to be patient. All right, so this is basically the Linda Okaneski I Have a Dream speech. I don't usually read my material, but this is complex, and I need to be careful. I suspect I might need a bodyguard when word gets out about my campaign. And most importantly, I know fabulous Compass agents who do it right. And that's kind of a tribute to people like Lisa Dropkin over in the Cambridge office. There's a real estate war afoot, one where MLS is in jeopardy. This war will determine if real estate is about the almighty dollar or taking care of clients. Consumers beware. The manipulation game is on. Wall Street and long-established big brokerages are pouring money into new initiatives to entice you to work with an agent and a company that will undermine you. And you'll never know what happened behind your back. You'll probably be so happy with the transaction, you'll thank them for stealing your money. I am asking every agent, every company, to declare themselves. Pick a side in this war. You can't sit on the battle line and insist that your company stands for integrity while you condone, ignore, or encourage bad behavior by agents. You'll get shot sitting on the fence. We are at a turning point in our industry. There are two divergent paths going forward. Which one will you take? We must ask, are we here to serve our clients or ourselves? The answer? We all know what every agent and company will say out loud. The word integrity and honesty sprinkle every mission statement. I call bullshit. It's not what they say, it's what they do. Bill Belichick is famous for, do your job. Has real estate lost its way? Have we forgotten what our job is? We are the fiduciaries of our clients. We have taken an oath, at least those with the realtor designation have, to take care of our clients' money and get them the best terms and price when they buy and sell. But for some reason, that is an old-fashioned sentiment, and taking care of clients has become an inconvenience. It's getting in the way of doing more transactions, the next paycheck, the next opportunity to make money. Bad, ugly things are happening to homeowners throughout the country. It's a tsunami of selfishness, greed, and abuse. For years, there's been a branch of real estate that took advantage of homeowners who needed a quick sale and didn't understand that equity they were giving up. We've all seen the "We Buy Ugly Houses" billboards or received no obligation cash offers in the mail. Get an offer in minutes sounds so enticing. Just pick a closing date, they suggest. You don't have to do a thing. It sounds dazzling, simple, and easy. Sellers are being swindled. These con artists are fleecing the homeowner, but they make it sound like they're doing them a favor. Those companies operate on the premise that homeowners are willing to sacrifice money for convenience. While that is true in some cases, those companies aren't coming clean with how much money sellers are leaving on the table. In order to turn a profit, these companies buy properties at a huge discount. After all, there has to be a good margin to assume the risk of buying and selling. So they buy these houses cheap. Go on Facebook, and there are companies that openly do seminars on how to find properties that create this opportunity for making money, for agents, not homeowners. These companies are so deluded, they are sharing their secrets on how to take advantage of homeowners publicly. They justify what they are doing by assuring themselves they are helping sellers who need to sell. I have great videotape to back this claim up. The seller is seduced into thinking this will be easy. If you have to touch everything when you move, why not touch it to maximize your equity to sell for top dollar? When folks make a decision to sell fast, they forget they still have to pack. They can't escape the hard part. Good agents know how to teach fair market value. Good agents know how to fetch fair market value, if not a premium price for the same property. If sellers truly understand the money they are leaving behind and have a good blueprint on how to sell and move with a trustworthy agent, they would rarely agree to a swindler proposition. Smart and noble agents have amazing superpowers and can achieve the same goals for clients without walking on a good portion of their largest investment. Here's a couple of stories from our archives. The couple in Medford who sold their home for $275,000. The company bought it, cleaned it out, and sold it for $450,000 a month later. Or another woman in Wakefield who was getting pressure to sell one of these outfits for $330,000. But luckily, a great agent talked her out of it and got her $516,000. The list of victims is long. Just watch the companies that buy property and resell it for profit. Sure, sometimes these quick cash companies clean the property up before they sell. Maybe they throw on a little paint, or the savvy investor might make a killing with smart renovation and flipping it for a big cash reward. These companies turn around and sell the same property for a lot more money and do nothing to the property. They sell it in the same condition they bought it. They just remove the junk and sweep. How do they make money? They put it on the open market. That is the key. Let me repeat. The only way to know definitively that you're getting a fair price is if your home is on the open market. There lies the problem. I've watched these companies steal hard-earned equity from unsuspecting homeowners for years. Sadly, we have come to accept this as a shady side of the real estate because the victims are uninformed and vulnerable, those without a voice. It's time to wake up because Wall Street is getting in the game, and now they are preying on smart people who should know better. Our neighbors, our friends, our parents. Now that we understand the swindling that happens, let's investigate how reputable companies, new Wall Street-backed companies, and startups are changing the game and bringing these practices to your neighborhood. Coming soon. Coming soon has honorable roots as a method to pre-market a property before it hits MLS, to create buzz and exposure for sellers before their home is shown and on the market. Now, coming soon is a guise for secret listings that never hit the MLS, and the abuse is rampant. Dark listings, I'm coining the term, like the dark web. What can you buy in the dark web? Sex, weapons, drugs. Or think dark money. Money that supports candidates and issues that can't be traced back to the donor. money to influence elections and policies to benefit these anonymous donors, perhaps even foreign countries. Dark listings are a black real estate market. Dark listings are properties that can't be purchased in the public arena. It's the dark side of real estate. Dark listings are properties unsuspecting homeowners agree to sell without going on the open market. Our fictitious friends, Charles and Eleanor, don't understand the bait and switch. Charles and Eleanor can't fathom that the agent they hire to get them the most money, their appointed fiduciary, is now making their home available to agents in the same company who will promote their house as a potential bargain to buyers who want to save money by avoiding competition. They don't understand that when coming soon sign is on their lawn, that their listing agent doesn't want to answer phone calls from agents from other companies who want to show it or ask questions. Charles and Eleanor have no idea that the agents they hired to represent them, that the agent they hired to represent them is trying to find a buyer for both sides of the commission. Look around and you'll see agents all over the internet trolling for buyers, extolling the virtues of their coming soon off-market inventory as great opportunities for buyers who want to save money. Buy a house before it hits the market. It's the best way to get a deal. For those who might be watching this right now and want to sue my ass off, I have examples of agents who are doing this publicly. Technically, the agents who are hawking these coming soon listings aren't the listing agents. They have no duty to get top dollar for the listing. The listing agent does. But I'd be shocked if our friends Eleanor and Charles, who have been sweet-talked into selling off-market, have any idea this is going on behind their back. Ironically, the talk at every real estate gathering is that the survival of our industry depends on putting the consumer above all. In Palm Springs in March of 2018, Brad Inman, the founder and leader of the largest real estate trade journal and industry conference, gathered national leaders in real estate to create the Parker Principles, a real manifesto, real as in real property. This aspirational document challenges us to raise the bar, elevate the industry, create more transparency, and ensure that the consumer comes first. All while big, shiny new players are swiftly and ominously dragging real estate into the mud. Here's a fun fact. Pay attention. It is pivotal to the war we are facing. Have you ever wondered why New York City real estate agents are not realtors? Did you know this? New York City brokerages have steadfastly refused to build an MLS. For decades, they have stonewalled the spirit of cooperation that would open listings to all agents and buyers. Non-cooperation in New York City is normal. Those of us who work, well, everywhere else in the country have long been incredulous. NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and New York City brokerages went through a messy divorce in the 1980s. I have collected several versions of the separation story. Richard Haggerty, CEO of Hudson Gateway Association, one of the universally accepted good guys of the industry, who is spearheading an MLS for New York City, told me that Manhattan thinks it's special. A New York City agent told me, somebody here's brother, because we won't cooperate, NAR won't let us be realtors. Did New York City brokerages refuse to take the pledge to cooperate? Or did NAR refuse to accept their uncooperative practices? I'd love to get to the bottom of this, but I digress. Here's what you have to understand. The underpinning of my message. Specifically, NAR and many MLSs consider pocket listings, yes, those listings that agents keep in their pocket and don't share to the public, to violate our code of ethics. Here's why. As realtors, we pledge to always work in the homeowner's interest. Homeowners cannot reliably maximize their sale value in a closed, uncooperative system of selling real estate. That has been the NAR stance for years. It's being challenged by folks with deep pockets. New York City is built on pocket listings. It's been a way of life for decades. Aggregators like Zillow and StreetEasy now allow a lot of New York City property to be publicly available, but New York City real estate runs by its own rules. It's the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. He who gets the gold does it by impeding full and open marketing of property, thus capturing both sides of the transaction and, more importantly, the whole commission. Where I come from, that is considered putting your self-interest ahead of the consumer. I'm from Boston, where fiduciary duty means something. Why was the MLS never instituted in New York City? We all know why. It's unspoken. Big companies want to sell their listings in-house. The owners of those companies stand to make significantly more money if they receive the commission on both the listing and the selling side. Follow the money. Compass, which originated in New York City and is funded by over $1 billion of Wall Street money, is bringing New York City-style real estate to the biggest real estate markets in the U.S. Wall Street has long salivated to enter real estate. They are doing it proudly. They are flaunting their off-market listings and using unethical practices, and I'm defining that by saying they're breaking the code of the Realtor Code of Ethics, which mandates cooperation, to gain an advantage over all other companies that live by the Code of Cooperation. Only Compass exclusive VIP clients can see their coming soon listings. Actually, anyone can see them online, but it's disorganized chaos without the proprietary app. The abuse is wild. Agents throughout Greater Boston are experiencing a huge disadvantage. Compass and other pocket listing companies want it all. They want their secret listings to hoard for themselves, but they need to have access to all listings for their own buyers. It's like flipping the bird and shouting, I don't want to share my listings, but I insist you share all of your properties with me. Now, there are legitimate reasons to sell property off market. Our MLS has terrific rules. They are simply being ignored and unenforced. That's where we all must rally to help our MLS, our clients, and our colleagues to put the industry back on track. We must all proactively do the right thing and insist that every listing go into MLS unless the seller directs us to sell it off market. Teaching point. We can't meet or talk to a seller who has sought us out, is confiding in us so we can help them and tell them that we have a buyer for their home so they don't need to fuss and go on the market. Even if technically you haven't signed an agency agreement with the seller, it's not the right thing to do. Besides, our MLS rules prevent you from suggesting it. Obviously, companies that are promoting a coming soon website who have thousands of off-market listings are directing their clients to go off-market, hurting their own clients. This is the problem. These companies are ignoring the MLS, at least in our market, and MLS isn't enforcing its own rules. This insidious practice is being institutionalized by Compass and sites like PocketListings.com. The largest independent real estate company, Howard Hobie Hanna, has named their pocket listing site Find It First. They're the largest independent brokerage in the country. Check out the thousands of Compass listings from Greater Boston and Miami to San Francisco to Los Angeles, Seattle, and DC, and on. Let me step back here for a minute and come clean. I get how shiny and attractive Compass is. I fell for it. It was our brokerage, Leading Edge, that first negotiated deal with CEO Robert Refkin to license their technology. After signing the agreement, announcing it to our agents in the industry, Refkin backed out. Boston Compass agents were raising holy hell. I have experienced how honorable Compass is firsthand. It is clear that Compass really is a technology company. They do not understand real estate. The people running Compass from LinkedIn, Goldman Sachs, Google, and Facebook never went to real estate ethics training. They went to business school to make money. Compass is new to the business, and the leadership team hasn't spent years toiling and thinking about best practices for clients. Plus, Compass opened in New York City where off-market listings are normal. Compass incessantly states that they are a technology company. No wonder they don't understand the nuances that create the best outcomes for sellers. Who are the Compass clients? Compass clients are agents and investors, not the consumer. When I sat at Compass in New York City with Robert Refkin for the first time, we had a fascinating chat. 20 minutes into the conversation, I asked, "You never mentioned the consumer. What are you doing for the consumer at Compass?" Refkin responded, and I quote, "We don't care about the consumer. If we take care of agents, they'll take care of the consumer." I was dumbfounded. Compass appears to have a calculated game plan driven by the need to make profits for their investors that relies on the bad practices of New York City brokerages and easily seduced agents who have forgotten their duty to their clients. Off-market listings create better margins for brokerages. Now Compass has put it on steroids in their app. Here's what's happening in the field. Agents that were once considered professional, fair, and excellent for their clients, agents who traditionally put their properties into MLS and have been sucked into this new off-market ethos. They have embraced it. Those of us who want to raise the reputation of real estate above used car salesmen have long known that you can't get the best price and terms for a property if the fact that it's on the market is a state secret. I don't want to hear excuses and protests. I understand the psychology behind making something more precious and valuable because it's rare or a secret. I know agents who regularly sell off-market listings believe they get the best price for their seller. And sometimes they may. But how will they ever know if it wasn't available to all qualified buyers? Remember, in our MLS, it's a rule that you cannot have a non-MLS listing unless it was expressly requested by the seller. An agent can't even whisper or suggest that they try to sell it off-market. That would be against MLS Pin Rules, and that is a fantastic rule. Why? Our MLS knows it's bad for the consumer. Additionally, and hats off to our MLS, an agent must disclose that they can't guarantee the homeowner will get the best price and terms, and the consumer must sign an acknowledgement to that effect. I can hear it now. This paper is just perfunctory. I need you to sign it so we can start marketing your home to our special buyers. Let me state for the record, the need for off-market listings is rare. Really rare. Compass isn't the only company with pocket listings. I can pretty much say all companies are guilty, including mine. What is different is that Compass, Howard Hanna, PocketListings.com, and now small local players are getting in the game and are institutionalizing it. It's a viral epidemic, hurting our industry across the country, undermining the spirit of cooperation. It means buyers can't be loyal to their agent because they might miss out on a property that is hidden from their agent. Sellers unwittingly agree to selling off market don't get full exposure. It's no coincidence that one company has so many off-market listings. The same agents attract off-market listings? At least locally, I suspect they are breaking MLS rules and initiating, that's the key word that's in the contract, those discussions. Agents are skilled salespeople who can make it sound terrific to the homeowner. We have a special list of VIP buyers who are standing in line to buy your home. Before you go on the market, let's test your price, or whatever sales pitch they use to build their secret inventory. I received a postcard recently. Now you have 2 chances to go on the market. We can do this quietly, and if you don't succeed, you can go on MLS, but you won't suffer days on market. They are selling it like a win-win. There are probably dozens of ways to sell this to unsuspecting consumers. The same homeowners for whom they are a fiduciary. They take listing agreements saying they will work on behalf of their client, while agents at the same company promise bargains to their buyers. It's ingenious. Check out videos and posts on social media where these off-market listings are showcased. Agents are leveraging the secret listings to troll for buyers who are tired of stiff competition. They're telling buyers they can save money, avoid bidding wars, and all the hassle. Coming soon must be fixed. Intended as exposure for the seller, has become a premium tool to sell property in-house before hitting the market and having to split the commission with another firm. Every MLS is handling coming soon differently. Our MLS came up with a great policy, which Compass is, again, ignoring and defying. NAR has a new directive and initiative. It goes into place on May 1st, verbatim. Within one business day of marketing a property to the public, that's the key thing, to the public, the listing broker must submit the listing to the MLS for cooperation with other MLS participants. Public marketing includes, but is not limited to, flyers displayed in windows, yard signs, digital marketing on public-facing websites, brokerage website displays, including IDX and VOW, digital communications marketing, email blasts, multi-brokerage listing sharing networks. That would be all of those Top Agent, Boston Agent Connect sites, and applications available to the general public. You can feel better about Bill. His gig is not open to the general public. Do we expect Wall Street-backed companies to comply, or are they going to fight this tooth and nail? Hobie Hanna said he was lawyering up against his MLS. He is fighting the complaints to his find it first site. The basic rule here in Boston is that if you hang a coming soon sign, you need to put it in MLS as coming soon. It needs one photo and a price and some basic information. The property can't be shown. Early marketing as coming soon is not so the listing agent can pick up buyers and sell it before it hits the market. A property can be coming soon for 21 days and then it automatically defaults to a new listing. I interviewed an agent recently. I told her my dark listing theory. She responded, "I didn't get it at the time, but when I interviewed with Compass, they told me MLS was antiquated." No company has more money in real estate than Compass, and they are telling new prospects that MLS is antiquated. Does this give you chills? The bullies want it both ways. They want their own secret inventory for their buyers. They also want to be able to access properties of other companies. It must be stopped. It's our job to enforce real estate rules and educate our marketplace so unsuspecting homeowners aren't talked into being bargains for VIP buyers. The day every listing is handled skillfully for all sellers and buyers will be a nirvana in our business. It would catapult our reputation. Most complaints about our industry stem from people feeling like they weren't treated fairly. Sometimes they aren't. The abuse has gone on so long we think it can't be changed, that it is inevitable. Dark money supports the agenda of the wealthy. Dark listings are the product of the wealthy, who are willing to compromise their own clients. But as Refkin told me, we don't care about the consumer. Every agent will walk out of this room today and either consciously or obliviously pick a side. Will they always do the right thing by their clients? Do they understand their agency, which comes with a fiduciary responsibility at all times? Or will they pick and choose when they want to do the right thing? Will getting another deal done be more important than the client who will never know if he got the best deal for his house? Save me your stories. Save me the instances when your exception made sense for the seller not to go on the market at your recommendation. If you truly are a good agent, you can show a homeowner the way without compromise. You must report violations. We all must act. We can't clean up the industry until we clean up our own houses. I am asking all of my competitors to join me. This is war, and you can't be Switzerland. Declare yourself.